A new kind of test for Strevens, Eastleigh and Wrexham. 1-0 down against one of the league's promotion favourites. The Spitfires continue to push in the final game before the crucial Christmas period. This is the story, non-league football. This is the story of Eastleigh.
Two against two, back from Bevan, opportunity edge of the penalty area, Rutherford plays it forward, this is an opportunity, there we go, Wrexham have extended their lead, it's 2-0 and it's Bobby Grant.
We wasn't too happy about that because of the way we were set up, and then it got cleared out and they ended up getting the second goal. So all in all, a hard day, but I didn't get too downbeat because of the run we'd been on, and the boys were going out on their Christmas party that weekend as well, so it was trying to pick them back up and say, listen, it's a defeat, we'll get over it and start again next week.
A shot with a left foot, edge of the 6-yard box, it goes into the back of the net. It came from absolutely nothing, the ball over the top, and after just a minute, Harrogate take the lead.
It was a tough game as well, that one, you know, they was in the playoff positions, and we knew it'd be really hard.
Throw to Eastleigh, headed away from Harrogate, chested down from Jones, 20 yards from goal, edge of the penalty area, right to the box here, Hare's ball into the box. Eastleigh back on level terms after 26 minutes.
We brought Cav on, and at the time they was getting a lot of ball in midfield when it was at 1-1, and I actually took a forward off and put another midfielder on, which some people might have thought would be negative, but we thought about Yatesy getting off of the front man and then Cav getting into the midfield, and he made a great run, and then we've been encouraging him loads to shoot more because he's got good ability with his left foot. And he cut in and bent it in the far corner with his left foot, and it was a real good finish, and I think all in all we probably deserved to win that day as well.
3 against 5 here, Yates has gone 30 yards up the field, edge of the box to Miley, who can't do it! Miley! His first of the season, a left-footed curler, the substitute has scored!
Yeah, that's probably, although we've had a couple of defeats in my reign as manager, probably my most frustrating day, because I thought for 60, 70 minutes we was by far the best team on the pitch. You know, we controlled the game, was 2-0 up and probably should have been further ahead. They got a penalty which was a bit of a dubious decision on the day, and then a couple of things went against us as well, and Greener ended up getting sent off, retaliating to something what one of their boys had done. It wasn't right the way Greener responded, but the lad did something to Greener, he should have been sent off as well. And then to concede were pretty much, I think it was the last minute of the game off a double deflection, was it was a hard one to take actually that day, and like I said, it's one of those even now I still think about it, so it was a tough day, that one.
Heads on, comes off the chest of Hare for Eastleigh, just about gets enough on it, does he? No, he doesn't, it's a mishap, and Ebbsfleet take advantage and score within the first 3 minutes.
It was just because we didn't give ourselves a chance in the game. Before we knew it, we was 2-0 down.
And out towards the right in line with the Eastleigh box, it comes in at pace, and it's in again, and Ebbsfleet extend their lead, and it's been an awful start for Eastleigh.
They was on a good run at the time, and got a lot of talented players. I know how good they can be, but I also know that if we'd have set up right against them, we could have beat them as well. So it was a disappointing day. We had a lot of games in a short space of time, and you try not to make excuses for players, but I just felt like that game we just didn't have the energy or the resources once we went behind to come back. And it was a tough day. It was probably the first time the boys really see me lose my temper at half time and tell them in no certain terms it weren't good enough. But they knew it themselves anyway. We had given ourselves far too much to do early doors in the game to give ourselves a chance of winning the game. And all in all, we got comprehensively beaten that day, and it was a tough one to take.
It's aimed towards Whiteley, who shoots with the right foot. It's in, and Ebbsfleet make it 3-0 with 8 to play before half-time. One of the worst first halves I remember from an Eastleigh side for quite some time. Eastleigh have been terrible.
They actually played much better against us at our place than they did away from home, and where I felt we should have won the game away from home quite easily, it wasn't like that at all on New Year's Day. It was a real tough game, and another one we come away getting the 3 points, and it was just nice around that period as well that our home form had really picked up. There'd been a lot of talk about why we weren't winning enough home games and stuff like that, so to get that result against our local rivals was a real good day, especially being New Year's Day as well. Solihull was it was one of those where I had actually someone coming in assessing me, doing my coaching badge and stuff like that, and we'd set up a game plan to go there, and we felt we could go there and get a positive result as well. And it was similar to the Eastleigh game where we just give ourselves so much to do.
Scudger, it's a chance for Solihull Moors though. It's shipped over the easy defender and it's into the back of the net. Solihull Moors score. The first time Solihull Moors have got in behind the Eastleigh defence, and the home side take advantage. Chipped in towards Wright, who heads up into the air, and it could go anywhere to Blissett with a bicycle kick, and Solihull Moors extend their lead. 3 or 4 players around him, but Blissett with a bicycle kick makes it 2-0 to Solihull Moors, and Eastleigh is sinking here without trace.
By the time we come in at half time, we wasn't out of the game, but we knew we had a lot to do to get back into it.
We just need to win these free kicks and corners. It's flicked onto McCallum, who shoots with the right foot, and Eastleigh score! Back in this game, and Paul McCallum, who else, with a right-footed volley into the top corner. Boot got a touch, but he couldn't keep it out, and McCallum's got his 15th of the season. Game on!
They're very direct, got big players, get the ball into your box, and we just didn't defend the crosses good enough. We didn't defend balls in our box good enough. There was probably a little bit of a turning point really, because it was another day where obviously I wasn't too happy with them. Knew that we had to do it better, and we worked loads after that game in training on Luke coming for crosses, boys dealing with balls in the box, and just being good in our penalty area as well as being good in the opposition's penalty area, which we had been throughout the season. You know, we'd scored a lot of goals from set plays or crosses into the box. So to concede that day, I think we conceded like from 3 crosses. But in hindsight, you look at it and you go, it wasn't a good day for us, but I've seen Solihull now do that to pretty much most teams they've come up against. We always look at ourselves and think we could have done better, but sometimes you have to give credit to other teams. And although it's not the most pretty on the eye, if I'm being completely honest, but a lot of teams say that's very hard to play against. And if you don't compete and win your headers and stand up to their physical presence that they've got, you end up losing games like that. And unfortunately, that's what happened on the day.
Chipped it in, and the header comes in, and it's 4-1. And Solihull Moors are heading for 3 points, and it's going to be a miserable trip home now for the Spitfires.
Yeah, just because we had a lot of games in a short space of time, it was very hard to prep in between games. You normally play a game, then you get ready for the opposition. We do a lot of analysis and look what the other team's going to do, and then you build a game plan around what you want to do to compete against them. So around that time, we weren't being able to do much of that stuff. We was just going from game to game, getting players back ready to play and stuff like that. And obviously as well, it was like win, lose, and I wanted us to get a bit more consistent. And it was hard to, we've all played for managers and they say don't get too high when you win games and then don't get too low when you lose. But probably as a manager, it's probably where you say that to the players, but then I was going away feeling pretty low and wondering, especially on the way home from Solihull, what I can do better, and looking at myself before looking at the boys, and thinking what can I do more to help them after that Solihull game, because obviously I was concerned with the way we lost the game. So it was a tough time, but one that we felt we could come out of and kick on again.
For Eastleigh, 7 points from 5 games. And still not too far off the playoff pack. 4 points behind Harrogate in 7th. With other sides losing around them, this is a real opportunity for Eastleigh to close the gap and really join the playoff pack.
The games continue to come thick and fast for Eastleigh, the latest in the festive period being the visit of playoff rivals Sutton United to the Silver Lake. A win for the Spitfires would see them go 3 points clear of the day's opponents. Amongst the squad sees a new face joined between the sticks. Following the end of Max Strydick's loan at the Silver Lake, Reading youngster Luke Southwood joined the club.
I've known about Luke for a while. Obviously, I saw him play for Bath last year, so I knew who he was. And to be fair, he's goalkeeping coach at Reading, the 23s, is a good friend of mine, James Bittner. We were both goalkeepers at Fulham together. So I did know. I sort of knew about Luke. I say obviously, me, he was a gaffer as well, and Jace. So we kind of knew who he was.
As soon as I spoke to Chopper and he told me about Luke, he told me about him last year as well, and he was one that we had wrote down from last year, and he said, I've got confidence he can come and do really well for you. And we backed him on it. Ross watched a lot of his clips that he got sent over by a Reading goalkeeper coach as well, and we liked what we saw, and we thought that he could be a real good asset to us, and I think he's proved to be that.
He's come into the group straight away and sort of bedded himself in really well, and and he's got the respect of the boys. So he's doing really well.
Just Max come in and he just seemed like Max was a man straight away. I know that sounds probably weird for people to hear, but he just seemed like he'd played hundreds of games and had a real confidence about him, where Luke is a young goalie that had come out of Reading but done terrific on loan at Bath last year, so we knew we had capabilities to do well at this level.
Today's game is his 5th since joining from the Royals, and it's a big one at the Silver Lake.
Eastleigh, they entertained Sutton United at the Silver Lake Stadium, and it was watched by Ian Wilding and Wayne Shaw.
He goes into the penalty area there, right in the box, it takes a deflection, it could go off the bar, and it's funneled in! Eastleigh take the lead!
Get in there!
Andrew Boyce with his first goal of the season, a scrappy goal, but Eastleigh will not care one bit. Eastleigh 1, Sutton United 0. It's Andrew Boyce with a goal. Played back to halfway and is chipped forward. What's Eastleigh defence doing here? Touré's in one-on-one, should score. Save from Southwood. Oh my goodness me, what dreadful defending that was from Raider Johnson. And it's 1-1 with 3 to play before half-time. Joey Jones halfway inside the Sutton half, wins it back down the right of the penalty area. Josh Hare gets there. This is a chance for Eastleigh. They could score here. They do score here!
Get in there!
They do score! It was a ball in from Josh Hare, just what Eastleigh needed. It was during a really good period of the game. It's Eastleigh 2, Sutton United 1. Buteman for Sutton has got space to curl him with the right foot, and he does, and it's headed on from Williams, and Sutton United have equalised for the second time this afternoon, and Brett Williams comes back to haunt his former club. Hare chips it in, takes a bounce, headed for Williams!
Yeah! Come on! Woo-hoo-hoo!
Ben Williamson with his 6th for the season. Warner got a touch to it, but he couldn't prevent Eastleigh from scoring late on with 2 to play. It was 1-0, it was 2-1, and now it's Eastleigh 3, Sutton United 2.
The pursuing months were now about building momentum in order to stay in that playoff pack. But with 3 away trips in their next 4 games, things are not going to be easy for Ben Strevens Eastleigh.
Yates over on that far right hand side, one-on-one with Coulson, gets around the outside and gets across in towards the back post, and Andrew Boyce finds the header and wins the game for Eastleigh, you would think, with 2 minutes to go here at Hayes Lane.
Goal scorer for Eastleigh in the 88th minute.
Now then they're messing around with it, the back order shot, McCallum plays it back, and the shot comes in, and Eastleigh take the lead, and they take advantage. A brilliant goal from the Spitfires. It was McCallum who played it back, and the left-footed shot there, and it looks like it's Danny Hollands with the final touch for Eastleigh in front of those Spitfire supporters. Aldershot 0, Eastleigh 1. Booty plays it through, Mentis touches into the penalty area, Mentor could score, here he does! 1-1 with the keeper, and Eastleigh were defending too deep, back on level terms. Aldershot 1, Eastleigh 1. Only half away, it comes back nicely to McCallum, he finishes! Paul McCallum scores! From absolutely nothing, and a little jig as well to go with it. It's his 16th of the season. Filled in with the right foot from Yates, it's McCallum with the header, and McCallum scores again! He scored his second in 2 minutes, and Eastleigh make things a lot more comfortable. They go 3-1 up away at Aldershot.
Well, it certainly wasn't the best performance of the season from Eastleigh Kane by any stretch of the imagination, but it was arguably one of their biggest so far this season. A brilliant 3 points from Eastleigh. It's now 3 wins in a row, and they are 1 point off Harrogate in 7th.
Let's start at the Silver Lake Stadium then. Eastleigh looking to make it 4 consecutive wins when they entertained Braintree. Braintree at the bottom of the table. Surely it was a guaranteed 3 points for the Spitfires. That's not as easy as that, is it?
Yates in with the right foot, into the 6-yard box, as well! Yeah. And who else? Paul McCallum, 18th of the season, a bullet header. Yates with his 22nd assist of the season himself. And Eastleigh take the lead against bottom of the side table Braintree. Eastleigh 1, Braintree 0. Curl it in with the right foot. It's into the 6-yard box. He's done it! And it is a deja vu. And McCallum once more with the header. His 4th goal in 2 games. And would you believe, Mark Yates once more, a provider from the corner on the far side. Eastleigh 2, Braintree 0.
Have a successful season, you've got to play well and win games when you're not been at your best, and dig in and show another side to it. And the way they worked for each other and threw themselves on the line and blocked shots, and we're down to 10 men for well over half hour, and without 3 senior players on the pitch as well. So it was credit to the boys. I'm as proud of them today as I have been all season.
One of you steps in, joins in between 5 and 4 in here. Once it gets playing, you stay up. Man on Cav. Come away, Cav. Come away, Cav. Cav, come away. Just move it.
Still it. On post, set. Move. Good. Go on, you're there, John. Be brave. Set. Oh, play, Blues, play.
Oh, tight.
As far as challenges go, they don't get much tougher than what comes next for Eastleigh. After suffering defeat following a good run of form away at Wrexham in December, it was time for the Spitfires to face another promotion hopeful. Salford City, the league's most infamous side, backed by the wealth of Manchester United legends, were sitting within the promotion spots ahead of the visit of Eastleigh that weekend.
Defenders, no zones, just play, okay? 10 minutes.
But a win for Strevens' side would see them leapfrog Graham Alexander's men into 5th place, their highest position all season.
I think at the start of the season, the idea from the club was to finish in the top 10. So we're on course to be where everyone would probably hope we would be, but we're also wanting to get into them playoff places. You know, we want to be in the top 7 come the end of the season.
You three, you're going to have to deal with them. Yatesy and Zeb get back into the little pockets. When it's on to press, we're pressing and we're showing outside, all right? Nothing's changing, we're showing outside, all right?
We worked really hard pre-season with Hesse in charge and me as assistant and the coaching staff. We worked really hard pre-season. I feel that that's given the boys a good base to get to where they are now, where we're sort of in the latter part of the season. A good team spirit, togetherness, and keeping a continuity within the group as well. You know, we're not needed to use or use loads of players this season. Even without injury problems, we've stuck with the group. And on the back of some results that haven't gone our way, we haven't panicked and thought we need to change loads of things. We've been quite confident with the group we put together at the start of the year, and feel like they're getting better and better. But got to keep working hard. You know, we're working really hard on the training pitch and trying to improve every day. You know, I'm trying to improve as a manager every day, and the boys are, credit to them, trying to improve, and they want to get into their playoff place as much as anyone else.
Feel-good factor has stretched across the club as positive results came into the side, something which has helped the latest recruit to settle in.
Yeah, loving it. Really enjoyed getting to know the lads. I think it was easy for me to come in straight away. People made me feel really welcome, and I'm really enjoying the time on the pitch, to be fair, especially now picking up wins. But yeah, I'm really loving it. Get on board, lads. I think when I first come in, there was Green I was speaking to a lot. He's obviously club legend, been here years. But yeah, I all the lads, haven't got a bad word to say about any of them, and like I said, they're really, really professional day in, day out. It's a great feeling. I think it's obvious with the lads. Obviously, you've watched training. There's a real buzz about the place, and I think obviously the manager Strevs really helps with that. He really gets the boys going, and I think there's a really good feeling there right now, and where hopefully we'll continue to keep winning games and keep doing the right thing.
3v2, join in as a 3v3, okay? Same your side.
It's one of the biggest games of the season, and one where true playoff hopefuls stand up and be counted. Next time, the playoff surge continues as the Spitfires make the trip up to Salford.